This is a picture of a man named Vasily Arkhipov. If you do not know who he is, you damned well should, because you owe your life to this man, as do I. Let me explain. Back in late 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Vasily was stationed on one of 4 Soviet B-59 submarines just off the coast of Cuba. This submarine was floating so deep in the water that they could not monitor any radio traffic from above. They were completely ignorant of what was transpiring on the surface. On October 27th, Vasily and his Soviet comrades were being bombarded by depth charges from the United States Navy. This was not to try and destroy the submarines, but to try and get them to surface so that the US could identify them. To the captain of Vasily's submarine, Valentin Savitsky, the depth charges were indistinguishable from a global thermonuclear exchange. In this tense situation, Valentin concluded that World War III had started. Therefore, he wanted to fulfill his expected duty and to launch the nuclear weapon stationed on his submarine. But before he could do this, he had to abide by a chain of command. He had to get the approval of 2 other men to launch. One was political officer Ivan Maslenikov, and the other was the chief of staff, Vasily Arkhipov. Ivan said yes to the launch. Vasily said no. If Vasily did not say no, then that would have been the end of life as we knew it. It was at that moment that Vasily had to decide what was more important: imposition of one's ideology on the planet by any means necessary, or the preservation of life so we can fight for the more universal goal of world peace. And the latter barely won.